but we still want to see Canada come back in the way it was before and stronger.
So I want to ask my Canadian viewers, and even the international viewers, what do they think about that statement? I'll tell you what I think about it. First thing that comes to my mind is that they just want our money. And it still really bothers me that they think that marketing promotions or promos or deals can still get the majority of us back to Las Vegas. So in today's video, I have a couple of reports out of Las Vegas. The first one's talking about how much money they're actually spending on their marketing campaign to try to woo us back. Maybe not woo is the right word, maybe lure. I also have another report featuring this guy. He's the CEO of those hotels that's doing the one-for-one exchange rate deal. And he's also claiming that 15,000 Canadians have taken advantage of it. You believe him? Let's not forget that this guy was saying that he was so close to Windsor and he felt like Windsor people were family. And then he's bumping shoulders with this guy. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm going to be talking about this guy today. I also have an article that many of you sent over to me, and it's got a few bullet points that I do want to discuss as well. So all of this will be discussed in today's video. The backdrop that you're looking at right now came from Joe, and he posted it on the Hey Cafe website, on the Guard the Leaf page. And he took this photo from Wheatland County in Alberta. And I really appreciate you posting it on the Hey Cafe website, because everybody posting their photos is really starting to show off Canada. Speaking of Hey Cafe, I do want to share another post that somebody put on the Guard the Leaf page. This one was posted by Tone, and the image states, every time he says Governor Carney, more families cancel Orlando, more gamblers cancel Vegas, more hikers cancel Colorado, more theater people cancel New York, more country fans cancel Nashville, and we never come back. I can totally relate to this post, because anytime I hear him say governor, or anytime I hear him say we don't need Canada, or even the tourism officials that say when you're ready to come back, or even the word lure, it just reaffirms my boycott. So let me know in the comments if you feel the same way and if you agree with this image. Alright, let's get started with the first report out of Las Vegas.
Meantime, thanks for joining us here. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. The LVCVA preparing to spend millions to bring Canadian tourists back to Southern Nevada. Today, the board voted on a multi-year marketing contract aimed at reversing that recent dip in visitors from Canada. We do have team coverage tonight. 8 News Now reporter Jessamine Woke is in downtown Las Vegas with the plan to bring in more Canadians already underway.
But we begin tonight with Nick Summer, who explains why tourism leaders say the investment will definitely pay off. Nick?
The board approved a 3-year, $3.5 million agreement with Reach Global Marketing to promote Las Vegas across Canada. The contract will run through July of 2026 and end in June of 2029 with options to extend.
When we take a look at Canada in particular, very difficult year. We're hoping to reverse some of those trends.
Canada has...
You know, the more and more they do this, the more and more desperate they look. I mean, any previous marketing campaigns didn't work before. So their bright idea is to just do another marketing campaign. I mean, it's doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and trying to expect a different result. Now, in the second report I'm going to show you, the one with the CEO douchebag, they do interview a lot of Canadians that are in Las Vegas right now. But I'm going to explain later why that doesn't mean a single thing to me.
Long been one of Las Vegas's most important international markets. In 2025 alone, nearly 1.2 million Canadians visited Southern Nevada, making up about 1/4 of all international visitors. Fletch Brunel, VP of Marketing for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, says the market has softened.
All the other international markets are making up for what that difference is in Canada at this moment, but we still want to see Canada come back in the way it was before and stronger.
Danica Brown is visiting Las Vegas from Vancouver Island. She says Las Vegas is an escape for her, a place to relax or have fun.
We enjoy the gambling. We enjoy the vibe, you know, just as positive. It's kind of like, you know, release from everything back home.
Even with
Relief from everything back home. I mean, you live on Vancouver Island, which is one of the most calm places that I know. And then you're getting relief by going to a clown house? Anyways, whatever. We already know that there's still Canadians that are still going to the United States. Nothing we can do about that. I mean, that's their choice. But what I don't like about this report is that it's cherry picking the Canadians that are already there. I mean, if a Canadian is in Las Vegas at the moment, of course they're going to say good things about Las Vegas. But is it representing all Canadians? No. I would love for them to get on a phone call with Canadians in Canada to get their opinion on Las Vegas. Maybe balance it out a little bit. But then again, this is for viewers in Las Vegas. So they're only going to want the positive things said from the Canadians. Let me know if you agree with my take on this. And if you do agree and this is the first time you're watching my video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below so you're notified of my future videos. Oh, just a heads up, there's a few more Canadians like this that I'm going to feature in this video.
Economic pressures and currency concerns, Canadian tourist Corbin Russell says it is his favorite getaway.
We really love America. You know, Canadians, they think different things, man, and Americans just have that set in stone, you know, soul that they, you know, just a culture.
Russell, who lives in Toronto, says the appeal is about more than just gambling, a break from the Canadian winters.
It's too cold. Canada's just so cold, and Vegas, like Vegas is just beautiful. It's like 85 degrees right now, you know, t-shirt, shorts.
Okay, I know I'm a bit sheltered on the West Coast in British Columbia, but this guy does not sound like he's from Toronto. And the fact that he said it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit instead of like in Celsius makes me go, But even if he is Canadian, I'm sorry, but he just did the most embarrassing, uneducated interview I've ever seen. His comments are something that I would expect from the United States. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Does this guy from Toronto speak for you?
The LVCVA is also working with airlines to boost direct flights and offering bundled discounted packages that combine hotel stays with those flights. Reporting live near the Strip, Nick Summer, 8 News Now.
Now, as far as resorts, they're booking Canadian musical acts such as Finger, 11, and DJ Excision to create a more welcoming, familiar environment.
What? Seriously? So you book Canadian DJs and artists, and you think that will bring us down? I mean, you might as well put like free poutine and half-price hockey sticks and snowmobiles half price if you're going to go with the stereotypical stuff. Because quote-unquote, giving us a familiar environment is not going to bring us back down. Like, I really don't understand why everything has to be a gimmick or, you know, something to lure us back. Like having Canadian artists. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to move on. This next one is probably just going to be just as frustrating as the last one. Let's take a look.
Continue our team coverage now as a downtown Las Vegas operator is making headlines by already launching a promotion to entice those Canadians. 8 News Now reporter Jessamine Wolk speaking with Derek Stevens about his plan and if it's working.
Derek Stevens' portfolio spans across downtown Las Vegas, including here at Circa. His campaign pleading with Canadian tourists to come back to the greatest city in the world.
Greatest city in the world and the greatest country in the world, right? Why does it always have to be the greatest? Why do they always have to be the first or the best? I really don't get it. Now, just a heads up, everyone. This one's probably going to frustrate a lot of you. It's going to make your head shake quite a bit.
Right now, there's a bit of a thought process that Canadians just don't feel welcome. And I wanted to make sure that I put something out there that said, hey, Canada, you're welcome, and you got some friends out here in the United States.
The at-par special cancels the exchange rate, letting Canadians spend their dollars just like U.S. dollars. The casino boss tells me the promotion that started in January is already paying off.
When we launched at par, we weren't really sure what to expect, but the response has been really overwhelming. In the first 30 days, we had 15,000 Canadians come.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. 15,000 Canadians answered or accepted the promo. My question is, do you believe this guy? Because something inside me, and this is just my opinion, thinks that these numbers are a little bit padded. Why? So that he can show that this is actually working. We're never going to get the real numbers. There's no accountability on this. I mean, he can lie all he wants because nobody's going to call him out on this. But what it's doing is that it's sending the wrong message to the locals in Las Vegas that are watching this. And it doesn't represent me and how I actually feel about the United States. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one feeling this right now. I'm sure there's got to be a few more people watching this video who feel the same way. Now, what they're going to do, again, they're going to cherry pick the Canadians that are already there, that made the choice to go to Las Vegas, and ask their opinion on how they view Las Vegas.
I met 2 Canadian tourists touring Circa. Kennard Cantono believes the deal will be a hit back home.
I'm going to go back home to my office and I'm going to be like, oh, you guys need to go to Circa. I think it will at least blow the Canadian market because the dollar is so high right now. So anything that's like at par, Canadians will always gravitate towards it.
No, you're wrong, Kennard. Canadians will not always gravitate to something that's at par. And to prove you wrong, I used to go to Las Vegas a lot in the early 2000s. And our dollar was what, 0.64, 0.65 at the time? Way lower than what it is right now. But even with this at-par discount, I will still not go. I'm sorry, but I'm not a sucker for deals like you, and I'm going to stick by my principles. And this Canadian doesn't gravitate around deals like you.
Canadian Laura Hernandez echoing the same sentiment.
You can buy us. To be honest, Canadians can be bought. You give us value if you're telling us, if you come like the 1-on-1, if we see it as good.
No, you can be bought, not Canadians. Don't speak for all of us. You see, I really hate these last two interviews because they don't represent the Canadians. But this report is making it look like all of us can be bought. I would love to jump on a phone call with these guys and tell them what we feel. The rest of the Canadians, the ones that are actually boycotting their city and the country. But we all know that that wouldn't make a good news story in Las Vegas.
Stevens shares he's already spoken with other CEOs about his promotion and welcomes others to follow his lead.
Our message is Vegas is frankly, it's better than ever. Whatever ideas and concepts people have to increase tourism and increase visitation, that helps everybody.
The promotion includes all of Stevens' downtown properties, including Golden Gate and the D. Reporting from downtown, Jessamine Wolk, 8 News Now.
So that promotion will run through the end of August.
So I really want to hear the community's thoughts on these Canadians, as well as the stupid promotion in Las Vegas. Do the Canadians that they interview, do they represent you? Do we gravitate around one-to-one deals? Can we be bought? I'm going to guess if you're watching my video, you're going to say no. But what concerns me the most is the narrative in both of these reports, because it's making Canadians look like they're weak, saying that we can be bribed, and that a deal, a one-to-one deal, is enough to get us back. Because there's going to be millions of US citizens watching these reports, and they're going to think, oh yeah, okay, well, the Canadians can be bribed. I knew they would cave, and I knew they wouldn't be able to resist the best country in the world. Some bullshit like that. I haven't been this frustrated in doing a report in a very long time. But unfortunately, I think we're going to see a lot more of this. A lot more gaslighting as well, saying that, you know what, the Canadians, they just can't resist and they'll be back. So what can we do? I guess the only thing we can really do is boycott even more. But it gets to a certain point where, like, we can boycott as much as we want. But the narrative from the news is never going to change. But I guess the positive out of these reports is that it actually fuels my boycott even more. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me on this. Now I want to move on to the last article. And this one's from Forbes and it's titled, Canadian visits to the US fell for the 13th consecutive month, adding to the US tourism decline. Now I'm not going to read the whole article, but I do want to go over some of the bullet points. The first bullet point says, the number of Canadians taking road trips into the US, the most common way of visiting, dropped by 15% last month compared to February 2025 and down 32% compared to the prior year, according to data released Tuesday from Statistics Canada. The key thing here to see is that it's 15% drop compared to last February. And last February, that's when all the shit hit the fan. But I am encouraged to see that there is still a drop from last year. The percentages might not be as big as what we heard last year, but as long as there's a drop, I'm happy with it. The next bullet point, there was also an 18% year-over-year decline in air travelers from Canada in February. I'll take the 18% because I know it's just adding on top of what was declined from last year. Canadian visits to international destinations were up 7.2% year-over-year, indicating Canadians are indeed traveling, but not to the US. And you know what? I think this one is easy to verify because we all know, it could actually be you yourself as well. For those of us that used to travel to the United States, we are not going there anymore and we're picking a different destination. Just like my friends who were just here and I played tour guide for, they normally would have went to the United States. Instead, they decided to go a little bit farther. It was their first time here and they enjoyed it. And you know what, to be honest, if I had to guess how much they're spending on their trip, it's probably close to about maybe 15 to 20,000 Canadian. Holy crap, I'm almost done. Shh. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay, I gotta finish this video quickly. You can hear the co-host is getting a little restless. In contrast, the volume of Americans visiting Canada in February was up 6% compared to a year ago. Hey, I'm not gonna say no to any US citizens that want to come to Canada. So unless they're wearing a red hat, then those ones can go fuck right off. But in saying that, I do know there's a lot of US citizens that are watching my channel. And they have emailed me and reached out to me on Discord as well as, what's that other one? Blue Sky. And they have mentioned that they have purposely came to Canada to support our economy. So I want to thank those US citizens who are helping Canada and are standing up for what is right. And last bullet point, because my producer's saying I'm taking too long. Nearly a quarter, 23% of Canadian travelers have canceled a previous planned trip to the US, according to the Longwoods International Tracking Study of Canadian travelers released last month. Now, I know for a fact that many of you watching this video right now, and if you're subscribed to my channel, many of you have canceled US trips and you went elsewhere. You either stayed in Canada, you went to Europe, you went to Australia, Asia, wherever else. I did a previous video on it and I think it was close to like 1.2 million or something Someone added it up for me. I forgot to do it. But it was close to 1.2 million in terms of like how much collectively you guys would have spent in the United States but decided to spend elsewhere. I mean, some of you guys have huge budgets for vacations. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest. But what I want to say is that we're past that point of people canceling vacations to the United States. I mean, last year, yeah, a lot of people probably canceled them. But this year, I don't think anybody is even planning them. Which is why I think in 2026, we are going to see even bigger numbers when it comes to drops in tourism. Why? Because we don't have these cancellations anymore. Last year, we had a lot of people that booked vacations before the orange guy took office. And some of the vacations were not refundable, so they went on them anyways. And those count for numbers for people going to the US. But I know a lot of people are not going to be making that mistake again this year. So I expect the decline in tourism is going to increase quite a bit this year. All right, that's all I got for today's video. It was a bit of a frustrating one for me to make. I really can't stand it when the US media starts to cherry pick and make it look like, Canada is still coming and that all Canadians can be bribed. That just really pissed me off. But I do want to take another minute to actually thank the community, because I have been reviewing a lot of emails and, people are sending me messages all over on different social media platforms. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to reply to every single one of them, but I do acknowledge them and I do see them. But I do want to thank everybody for giving me the encouragement just to be myself and normal. And you might have noticed, like, I'm starting to not remove my stuttering and just, kind of leave it as is. But I'm definitely learning, and I'm definitely learning to just kind of relax and be myself when it comes to my video creations. So again, I do want to thank everybody who has sent me encouraging messages, and I'll continue to find ways to bring the community together. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you agree with anything I said, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international perspective without the US media bias, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below so you're notified of my future videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next one.